The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s and 90s toys, and all things nostalgia. We're hopping in the Warp Pipe today and going back and checking out Nintendo Accessories. Me and Jay discuss what it was like growing up with some of these, and some of these we never even tried, so we give you our thoughts and comments on that. I am still currently on vacation, so we recorded the podcast and we had a little weird connection, so you're going to hear some beeps and boops during it. But I still hope you guys can enjoy this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Weekly Warp Pipe. I'm RussLyman.
What's up, guys? I'm NES Addict.
Yeah, we're back at it. Jumping in the Warp Pipe.
Is this episode 22?
22, yeah, we're up to episode 22. 22 straight weeks we've been doing this.
Hey, so, Russ, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
We're old enough to drink now.
Taylor Swift.
There you go. What have you been up to this week, Jay?
Just getting things ready for the new job. I should start Thursday. And
nice. So you did get it.
Trying to work on a YouTube video and TikToks and
nice.
Keeping my sanity.
Keeping your sanity. I dropped a new YouTube video. I'm currently on vacation in Virginia Beach, and me and my wife were driving down here from Connecticut, and we stopped at a Goodwill and then an antique mall, and I actually came across the NES, the World of Nintendo cabinet that used to be in like stores back in the day, like KB and like Toys R Us and stuff. It was not for sale, though, unfortunately. I think they said if I probably offered her a replacement cabinet and maybe some money, she probably would budge on it. But then it's like, how am I getting it back to Connecticut? It's like a 6-hour drive from there back, and we're in a convertible, so it's not going to work. But this week's
I need to drive to
topic,
Virginia Beach tomorrow with my replacement cabinet.
Yeah, I know it.
we got Nintendo peripherals.
Yeah, figured we'd jump into some of the cool Nintendo peripherals. Say that 3 times fast. Jeez.
I know, right?
The classic one we start off with would be the NES Zapper.
Yeah, the good old Zapper.
Now, originally it came in gray and light gray, packed in with the NES there. See, it was released in Japan on the Famicom in 1984 and then brought to the North American for October 1985.
So there was a variant in the gray color?
No, so that was the first one released, and then they did release the orange version.
Right. I'm sorry. I thought you said gray and light gray, and I was like, "Oh, you're talking about the 2 tones of the gray."
The 2 tones of the color. Yeah, same gun.
I was like, "Well, I didn't know there was a variant of the gray."
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this was able to be used on Duck Hunt, Wild Gunman, Hogan's Alley, and you could only use it on a CRT TV. It's not going to work on any modern flat screen TV because how it's broken down. Out of luck. If you want to check out more how it works, definitely check out The Gaming Historian. Does an awesome video and breakdown on that.
Yeah, he really does. It shows how like you use the black box and then everything else around it kind of gets erased or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Right.
I'm speaking out of my head now, but
the infamous light bulb trick where you can put the gun right at a light bulb and pull the trigger and essentially not miss.
Oh, I actually never heard of that, Russ.
Yeah, well, it's funny enough because it is brought up in the Game Chasers movie. If anyone catches that,
I haven't seen it yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do you have all of the light gun games?
No, I'm missing Gumshoe.
Dude, what is it about Gumshoe? That's the one I'm missing. Oh, you know what? No, that's not true. I don't have Wild Gun either.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have Wild Gun because that was
I just have Duck Hunt and Hogan's Alley.
Back to the Future 2 when he goes into the coffee shop and they plug in the arcade cabinet, though. It's the arcade version.
Gotcha. Oh, wild gun. So what Zapper did you have as a kid?
I mean, definitely the gray one, the original one.
Oh, you had the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, see, I had the orange.
Oh, okay. So you went with the orange one. They did release this orange one due to, let's see, it was based on a light gun toy used. Trying to see where I
think
believe
it was just like laws,
right, to
like
make
laws to tell it it's fake.
right. So that bright color. So you're like, it's not a real gun if you're going out with it.
Do you remember like when you had play guns as a kid? They all had like an orange tip.
Right.
That was the reason. Yeah. So then they just made the light gun orange, which
Here
is
it is. I found it.
Cord attached to it.
1988, the federal toy gun law was signed in the United States, requiring that toy guns be visually distinct from real guns in a variety of ways, including color. The next year, the Orange Zapper was released.
Yep, because I got my NES in '89, so that makes sense.
Nice. We'll move along on this list here because we got a bunch to talk about. This one you just did a video on your TikTok, I believe, and it's kind of like a weird one.
Yeah, so it's the Speed Board by Pressman, and basically, I didn't ever realize that people played Nintendo almost like a computer, where you're like your hands are flat and you're not actually holding it. But I guess like speedrunners are pretty known for doing that. Like, I don't know, it's such a strange way to play.
Right, you would think controller. Just like in your hand like this, using your thumb for the D-pad. And
so for those freaks of nature that play like this, you could put it on the speed board, and I guess it like gives you like a level surface to like keep it in your lap and kind of hold it in place as well.
Right, more surface area there.
Yeah.
Did we say it was made by Pressman and it came out 1991?
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, I didn't know exactly when it came out, but it was by Pressman.
That's what the thing I have here, but it says puts the speed at your fingertips on the box.
Yeah, I have one back here. It's kind of hidden. You probably can't see it, so
it's on your wall of cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Yeah, the speed board.
Cool stuff.
Another one,
but it's pretty.
It's
pretty famous because. No, I was going to say there's an AVGN episode about it where he makes fun of like how useless it is. But.
Right. I was going to say even the next item on our list I'd never used before, but I've seen it in an AVGN video. That's the Rockin Roller. Did you ever see this at like Toys R Us or any of that? I can't say I ever remember seeing it.
So I never heard of the Rockin Roller. No, until the AVGN brought it up, where he was drinking his Rollin' Rock on the Rockin Roller, which is hilarious.
And it was put out by LJN, who's famous for all the crappy NES games that he reviews.
I'm still not even sure what it does.
It says, I got a little description.
Like, what was the purpose?
It consists of a large piece of plastic that the player rocks back and forth instead of using the D-pad. However, the player still needs the controller to press the A and B buttons. It's notorious for working poorly and sometimes not at all. It is compatible with all NES games, excluding light gun games.
I kind of want one, but they're bulky and takes up a lot of space.
Right, yeah. It's almost basically it has like a ball in the middle of it, and then you're kind of shifting your weight back and forth to like move.
You ever heard of a Bosu ball?
No.
So it's like an exercise. It's a piece of exercise equipment that you can like balance on. It's like good for your core. It's kind of reminds me of that.
Maybe that's what. Maybe the guy who designed it, seen his wife's in the living room, was like, I should make an NES peripheral.
There you go. It was probably some initiative to like get kids to be more active. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, the more better peripheral keeping you active would be the power pad.
Yeah, absolutely. The power pad. The power pad's classic, dude. I only knew one kid that had one, and every time I went to his house, I was like, can we get this out?
Right. You're like, I got to use this. Get track and field out.
That's right. I need to run. I need to go
Trying
crazy.
to see if it lists any other games that you can really play with it.
Short order and something explode.
World Track Meet. So it says the Bandai first released the accessory in '86 as the family trainer pack for the Famicom. Later released in the United States as the power pad, along with the game World Class Track Meet, which was rebranding of an earlier game, which is very hard to find now.
Yep. And that game is Stadium Events.
If you got that, you got the money. Oh, here we go. Compatible games. 11. Oh, okay. We got 11 games that'll work with this bad boy. Does it list them here? Oh, Dance Aerobics. That's right. Never played that one.
Me
oh, there's a lot of
I think I played it momentarily.
There's a lot of Japanese only ones. One says Street Cop. You ever hear that game?
Never heard of Street Cop. I have heard of Super Team games.
Okay. Yep. That one's there. What else? You said, Short Order, Explode.
There you go. That's the other one I was thinking of.
The only one anyone probably ever used it on was Track and Field because it made the most sense. You're running down the field and you got the power pad. You ever drop down and just use your hands?
Probably when I was a kid, but now I can move my legs pretty fast.
There we go. I actually bought maybe about 5 years ago now a homebrew game that utilized the power pad. And not a way you think. It's not you're running on it. He actually kind of made almost like a cornhole game. You would have to get like bean bags and throw the bean bags at the power pad, and whatever button they landed on was where you got points or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's neat that they're making homebrew games and utilizing these, old peripherals.
That's really cool. I like that.
What else we got? For the four score, if you want to grab some friends and play
7 years ago,
play with Abraham Lincoln.
That's right.
So this plugged into both ports of your NES and then gave you 4 plugs to plug your controllers in to play a 4-player game with.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
I never used that as a kid.
Never. Yeah. I don't think I knew anyone as a kid that had it. I've used it a couple years ago with my friends. We tried playing Nightmare on Elm Street. The Freddy Krueger games could be 4-player.
There you go.
Very hectic seeing all those people on at once and trying to organize. But I was like, hey, let's give it a shot. But apparently there's a ton of games you can play with it. Gauntlet 2. Monopoly, Magic Johnson's Fast Break. We got Super Spike V-Ball, Smash TV, 2 players with 2 controllers each. So you hold each controller in your hand using. That's cool. That would be neat to see.
I wonder about like anticipation.
Is that on there? If it's in alphabetical order, nah, it's not on there.
Oh, wow.
Funny thing is, so with the 4 score, it has you can put turbo on it, and we enabled the turbo when we were playing Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and we didn't know, and we fell in like this ditch, and we couldn't jump out, and we couldn't figure out why because it was like a turbo jump, so we weren't getting as high as we were supposed to be able to jump, and we thought the game was broke.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
So,
And I guess the next peripheral here, the satellite, I guess they improved on the 4 score because it's like the 4 score, but you don't have to be connected to the television, right? Is that the only difference?
Yeah, essentially it's a wireless version. So you didn't want to be like sitting on the floor playing. This had an adapter that would plug into those 2 ports and then use 5D batteries or something to put into there.
It takes like C batteries. Okay. Yeah, and a fun fact that you guys probably didn't know this, but Dave Matthews wrote a song about this thing because he loved Nintendo so much. Satellite. Yeah, it's
Imagine.
Nintendo. It's got to be.
Check the music video on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's in there.
Yeah, so pretty neat that they're like, all right, let's try some wireless technology. They never had
it's pretty cool.
They never made a controller itself that was wireless. Acclaim put one out which I've seen a bunch of times at conventions that had infrared technology, and you could have your wireless controller. But like with this one, I guess you can have it sitting at the coffee table or whatever closer to you, and then plug in your NES controller, so you wouldn't need a long cord.
Yeah. One day I'll test this thing and I'll let you know if it works.
Fair enough. What else we got on the list here?
Let's see. Oh, the NES Max.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting controller. Has like a cyclone technology where you can like spin that little red thing around.
I know a few RC cars that have cyclone technology.
Yeah, me too.
See our past
hilarious. I think the one time I thought that controller was going to help me the most was a couple years ago. I was playing through Battletoads.
Oh, okay.
And there's this level where you have to make these precision turns, or like whatever's chasing you will slowly catch up with you.
Right.
And I just struggled with this level, and I was feeling like, oh, I bet that controller would help me because it moves fluidly, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Didn't work?
Idea.
Jeez.
No.
It is a lot smaller than an NES controller. Like in your hands, it definitely feels smaller because they have like angled sides and the buttons are a little bit smaller. They have two regular buttons, but they do have turbo buttons right under that. That's like built in. So you got built-in turbo. And this came out in 1988 as well.
Did you know also that the ring around the red portion can be pressed like a D-pad?
Right. I was going to be like, Jay told me that. Not only can you use the circle button, you could just press the outer portion as like the D-pad if you want to use that. But I have seen people mod these and take like analog sticks and put those in there. So then you have like a modern analog stick on it.
That's genius, actually. I'm going to have to start Googling those and see if I can find ones for sale.
There you go. Might be a future RussLyman DIY.
Dude, do it. I'd watch.
Moving on with more controllers. Yeah, for
those wanting that arcade experience, the NES Advantage.
The little joystick. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but it's kind of rectangle shape.
Sorry.
Couldn't resist. But it has, the joystick handle right there. Two big buttons you can use, and it does have turbos. And I thought it was unique. It has like dials that you can fine tune the turbo, how fast you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want it really fast, up to 11? Or are you more like a 6 or 7 kind of person?
Right. And then it does incorporate a slow-mo feature, which basically it takes the pause button and is hitting it repeatedly.
Yeah, it's like pause. What a cheap move.
I mean, maybe it could help you in Battletoads if you're getting through trying to run after the thing.
I probably should have used that. I did not, though. And fun fact, on my YouTube channel, I made a lamp with a zapper and an Advantage.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's right.
So a little the only DIY NES addict ever did.
I have a lamp, but it's just the NES Zapper. So now you're coming across these, peripherals. I probably have like 7 NES Zappers at home. You can turn them into lamps.
Yeah.
Little DIY.
Purists can yell at you about how you're destroying them, not keeping them in their original form.
That's true. I mean, I'm doing the same thing with regular NES controllers because I'm repainting them.
What's say that again? I missed it.
I'm doing the same thing with regular NES controllers because I'm repainting all of them. So I'm taking them off the market or whatever you want to say.
There you go. Russ is killing us.
I mean, I guess we could add. We didn't even put in the regular NES controller. We could talk about that.
Oh yeah. What's your thoughts on the regular NES controller?
I feel it's pretty awesome. Like it's a huge step up from when you're going from the generations. Like I had played Atari before that, and you got a joystick with one button. I never got to play the Master System, but holding one recently, comparing it to the NES controller, I just feel that That feels a
Not
little
as good,
better.
is it?
The D-pad's a little bit like tighter. Yeah. And then like even like a lot of the games you're holding that B button in to go run, and just like pressing your thumb down to hit the A just, feels good
Yep.
that it's all in one
Kind of
plane.
rocking.
Yeah.
I like it.
I never got,
I even like the sharp corners.
oh, you do? I was going to say, it's either that or they released the dog bone controller later on with the rounded corners. And some people don't like that. It's a little bit smaller than what the NES controller is, but.
Yeah, I am not a fan of the dog bone.
And plus, I think the buttons are sideways too, like almost like the Super Nintendo. I don't know if they're side to side because I don't use it much.
Yeah. I don't either. I don't like it. I know Mega Dan 29 is a fan of it, but not me.
Gotcha.
I bought it and then I tried it like once. And I was like, not for me.
Not for me.
So we got not for me. We got the old Super Scope.
Yeah, moving up to Super Nintendo, they needed something better than an NES Zapper, a gun, so they had to move up to a bazooka.
Yeah, bazooka. And it's pretty sick too. I actually got it for Christmas of '92, and I remember playing it with the game with Patrol games, last three these rockets. The Super Scope was awesome. I never got Metal Combat as a kid, but I always wanted it. It looked rad.
Yeah, a couple other games
But it has like this really cool scope on it.
Right. That like was kind of like went almost off to the side, and it's got like a shoulder mount.
Yeah. But you had like pinpoint accuracy with that thing.
Well, you were using, it did come with something that plugs into the Super Nintendo, and you would put that on your TV, so it had a sight to shoot at. So it'd probably be a little bit better than the Zapper itself.
But you could like stand back really like all the way across the room, really.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think I have one, but I never hooked it up. Whether I have all the pieces, I don't know. And it should essentially, I guess it should work on a flat screen because it has that piece you're shooting at.
That's a good question. I don't know. I've never tried it. I haven't used mine in a while, but I need to bust it out. It's up there on the rack.
Nice. Yeah. Let's see. Some of the games, is packed in with Super Scope 6, but you can also use it on T2, the arcade game, which is probably awesome. You mentioned Metal Combat, Operation Thunderbolt, Lemmings 2, apparently. Lamborghini American Challenge. Not sure about that. And the Hunt for Red October is used in the bonus games. X-Zone, Tin Star, and a lot of people with this game, Yoshi's Safari, because you would always see that game and people would want to pick it up because it has Yoshi on it. And I'm like, no, you need the Super Scope, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's wild. I never played that one.
The Yoshi's, nor have I, so I don't know if it's probably plays something to like a Pokemon Snap, right? Just animals popping out, you're shooting them.
Yeah, probably so. Don't kill Yoshi.
That's it. Sticking with Super Nintendo, Mario Paint we're adding on there because that came with a mouse and mouse pad.
Yeah.
You do all
Mario
sorts
Paint
of...
was like revolutionary.
Right. It's like it's almost like a program that you would get on a computer, yet you're getting this on your Super Nintendo, a game console, a home console.
I remember I tried to sell it to my parents as you can create your own games on it. Like I thought you could literally program your own games.
Yeah, I could see it, like maybe watching the commercial, you're not really sure what it does because it does like music, it does painting, and then you can have it like play some animation stuff, so it could almost look like, oh, you could make your own game.
And I think that's where I thought they were making their own games, was the animation portion. I was like, sick.
Right, because you can make like stamps, I think what it was, and save those. So I remember me and my friend doing like Metroid stuff. So you'd make like Samus and stuff, and then you can put her, whatever different positions. You can make a different stamp of her shooting, maybe rolling or whatever. And you're like, okay, let's play it back.
Yeah.
But
and even the beginning, you can like do stuff with like the letters in Mario Paint.
Oh, like on the title screen?
Yeah.
They always like doing
who does
that.
Remember SWAT and Flies?
That's right, the SWAT and Fly game. And the box itself too. It's like the box game was huge. It was an oversized box because it had to fit the mouse pad in there. Let's see. When did
Do you have the mouse pad?
Yeah, I have it. Like I put it in a Ziploc bag so I wouldn't lose it with the mouse itself. August 1st, 1992. This was released.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I had my NES. I got my NES shortly after that. But the commercials for the Super Nintendo like blew my mind back then.
You're like, whoa,
the marketing really worked on me.
This thing looks epic. Yeah, I have to rewatch some of those commercials.
Superpower. I was like, oh my god, it's 16 bits, twice as many bits.
Let's see, what else is it saying here? According to 2 parts of Mario Paint are meant to familiarize the user with the mouse title screen, where the user can click on each of the logo text for a surprise.
Yep.
And fly swatting minigame named Gnat Attack, where the player swats 100 insects before fighting a boss named King Wattening. Wattening? Wackenaga. I don't know.
No clue.
But yeah, pretty awesome. I said, yeah, lots you could do with it. And there's people now, still using it, making like these crazy songs in the music portion of it. And you almost see some of that remnants of like playing Super Mario Maker 2, where they have these audio levels. And it reminds me of that, where Mario's like bouncing on certain things and it's making notes. It definitely reminds me of Mario Paint.
Yeah. Some of those sounds I despise. There was this one of like someone going, uh-oh. Not that was annoying.
You're like, nope, not for me.
This terrible sound is not for me.
Well,
what's the last one we got? We saved
the best one for last, Jay. Of course, people thought we forgot it, but the power glove, baby. It's so bad.
It's so bad. Yeah. It really is so bad.
Probably most kids first seen it in the movie The Wizard, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Freaking Lucas.
He had it. He was playing the games with it, looked flawless, or he's moving his wrists left to right, playing Outrun, and it's working perfectly.
Yeah.
I can see yours up in the shelf back there too.
It's somewhere. I can't get there. It is.
There it is. Yep. Yeah.
Did you see the new Christmas movie that came out last Christmas?
Yes, 8-Bit Christmas
Story or
8-Bit
whatever it was
Christmas.
called. Yeah, 8-Bit Christmas. I think the kid on there had one, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if it serves my memory correct, he did have a power glove.
And then he got like his butt kicked when he was using it because it sucked so bad.
It's like you want to use it for like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, because the main thing, you have to set up these sensors on your TV screen, 2 in the top, 1 in the side, so it can kind of register where your glove is going. But never worked great. I bought one years ago and set it up and did my best to try to enjoy some games with it. And it's basically more a novelty, looks cool on the shelf.
That's really all it does. Do you know if yours is the adult size or the child size? Because they make 2 sizes in it. I'm
pretty sure it's the adult size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of loose on my hand a little bit. I have kind of tiny hands, so it's like, Yeah. It's interesting that they made 2 sides. Yeah, 2 sizes.
Yeah. Kind of smart though. I actually have those sensors. I need to hook I've never actually hooked mine up to see if it works.
I hooked mine up, see if it worked. Worked terribly, and I cut the cord.
Oh, you just cut it off?
I cut the cord. Sorry. So I can never use it again. It's just easier to display. I guess I could have tucked the cord inside the glove, but I was like, you know what? I was using it also as a display inside my car.
Destroying all the Nintendo peripherals.
I am. People are going to hate me.
Why do you hate Nintendo so much, Russ?
I know it, Take my anger out, my childhood
Do you
anger.
have the poster for the Power Glove?
Oh, excuse me. No, I don't think I do. Poster? No.
I have it in my game room, and it says you must follow these rules, and it says you must enter the program, examine Mike Tyson's calibrate. I'm reading it as I'm looking. And you must center, and you must read your instruction booklet. They really wanted to drive home the fact that there were 1,000 steps you had to complete if you wanted this thing to work properly.
and the main thing was it was essentially kind of rushed out. It was still getting the kinks out. To make it work great, they could have done it, but it would have cost so much more. And they were kind of this is where it needs to be. And they're well, it's not going to be great. And they're whatever, put it out like this. And they were supposed to make more games with it because it was packed in with the glove ball, which it worked decently with. And there's supposed to be more games designed just for the Power Glove, and they never ended up coming out.
Yeah, because it sucked so much there just wasn't a point.
So I wonder, I haven't looked in, maybe John Riggs knows, but have any home brewers made games for the Power Glove now? I bought one for the Power Pad. I wonder if anyone did for the Power Glove.
Probably somebody out there, I would think, but I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense
my Power Glove up,
like a boxing game, obviously. Make it work.
You would think Punch Out would be the perfect game for it,
right? It's okay, you're hitting, boom, and it's nope. Essentially, that switched over when Punch Out came out for the Wii. I actually they had boxing gloves you can get, and you slide your Wiimote into the boxing glove, and then it worked great like that. So I was that's what they're going for.
Even Wii Sports Boxing is phenomenal. Right.
Same concept.
I can play that game and burn 1,000 calories. I just love it.
Nice. But yeah, those are, Nintendo peripherals that we wanted to kind of discuss and talk about. Maybe you guys grew up with some of these. Maybe you never heard of the Speedboard or the Rockin Roller.
Yeah. Those are some of the more random ones. Definitely
check out AVGN's video. I think he has a video on literally it's all one video possibly
about peripherals. Yeah,
right. So super fun.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, make sure you get your hands on these peripherals because Russ is single-handedly destroying them one at a time, cutting cords, painting them weird. What's he doing?
That's it.
I'm making lamps out of them.
Guys, thanks so much for listening. If you want to follow me, check me out on YouTube. You can search RussLyman, or check out Bit by Bit. That's my second channel. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, just all RussLyman. And where can we follow you, Jay?
My biggest platform right now is TikTok, which is kind of sad, but you can also follow me on YouTube here and Instagram as well. And from time to time, I will sell things on Whatnot. I need to do a Whatnot sale soon. Actually,
nice. So. Sweet. Maybe sell some NES Zappers.
And they're all NES addicts. There you go.
Excellent, guys. Well, as always, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.
Have a great week, guys.
Later.